Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining us. Michael Matthew, your host here today. We've got some really special guests on here. You've seen them on the channel before. We've got Michael and Katrina Stead. They're going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about the ever exciting short-term or STR asset class, guys. There's nothing hotter out there. There's not a hotter button in real estate investing, and myself included. I'm out there active in this game. Matthew is as well. But we've got a phenomenal platform that we often bring here on the channel, which is Michael and Katrina with their BNB Bootcamp. Guys, this is a phenomenal way to get involved in the short-term rental space without leveraging your own capital, leveraging your own cash, having to go out there and secure, OPM for these. This is the ability to get in, follow a specific blueprint that Michael and Katrina have handcrafted over the last couple of years and have generated and created hundreds of students that have gone through there and are successfully out there implementing those strategies in the short-term rental space right now with things like arbitrage and partnerships. Bottom line is they're going to show you how to be successful in this business without having to use your own capital and your own credit. That being said, the masters of the BNB Bootcamp, the founders, Michael and Katrina Stead, welcome back, guys.
Hey, thanks so much, Michael. We really appreciate it. Good to see you again. And it's always a pleasure connecting with you and your audience as well.
Appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, really looking forward to diving into just a few hot topics right now. You guys have just done a masterful job, which is why we continue to bring you here on the channel. Guys, time and time again, which is why you continue to see them, we're getting positive results. We're getting just phenomenal feedback from our audience members that have taken the opportunities that have been presented to them here on the channel with BNB Bootcamp, and they've taken action. If you already know that you have an interest in STR, BNB, go ahead and email bnbbootcamp at VIPfinancialeducation.com. We'll go ahead and drop that link below, include your first, your last name, the best number to be contacted at, and someone from their team will be reaching out to you ASAP to see if it's a good fit. It's a free consultation, and you can take it from there. So, guys, welcome. There's a ton going on out there in the STR space right now, and I'm talking to folks about it every single day. We're doing the lavish keys management thing. This is totally different what you guys are offering right now, which is a little bit more of an active investment strategy. Let's talk real quick. So a lot of people that are watching may be, long-term buy and holds. They may have tenants now and maybe are considering converting, or they're looking out to maybe go out and get a property, and they're looking at, a long-term buy and hold versus a short-term rental. Can you guys give us kind of a side-by-side comparison as far as earnings potential on a specific subject property, what it would look like as a long-term rental versus a short-term rental?
For sure.
What that monthly cash flow would look like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously it's going to vary, quite substantially based on market, based on property type, based on like all these, things that you want to have some analysis on when you're getting into real estate. But, let's just take kind of a typical example, right? So the key differentiating factor between looking at, a long-term rental and a short-term rental really just comes down to the component of time. And really what's happening between those two scenarios is how you're selling the use and utility of that property. So when you're looking at long-term, what's actually happening is you're selling time to the tenant on a monthly basis, right? So they pay you rent, and then that buys them time at the property till the end of the month. And then if they want to continue staying there, they have to pay another month rent, and then they continue on with that arrangement. With short-term rental, it's different because really what's happening is we are selling time by the day. So because we're chopping it up and getting a lot more use, a lot more people, a lot more utility and functionality through that property, that's why the income potential is so much higher. So what we typically see, because we have coached and trained a lot of people that actually have taken the steps to buy long-term rentals to secure their long-term financial future.
Or even change over their existing portfolio to short-term rentals as well.
But I mean, the reason why they bought long-term to begin with was because everyone that gets into real estate, and this is, kind of a common scenario for landlords and partners we work with, they want three things, right? They want to have passive income, mailbox money. They want someone to take care of their place, and they don't want that person to be a pain in their ass to deal with, right? The problem is the experience most landlords have is exactly nothing like that.
It's the exact opposite.
Right? So tenants may not pay, tenants might damage the property, and then ultimately that might be a really big headache. So what we've seen as a typical experience for a lot of people we've coached and landlords we work with they typically only make a few $100s a month net cash flow after all expenses. I mean, obviously,
if that even, honestly.
Are there examples where people make more? Of course, right? If it's a multifamily, something like that, sure. But a lot of the times too, we find people either break even or sometimes they even lose money on a cash flow basis on the property.
Due to damages or due to the downtime of trying to find the next renter, anything like that. So really, when we're coming into a situation like this, even on the channel here, we've had Adam, one of our previous students, he was in Mount Rushmore, right? And he had a long-term rental duplex, right? And it was, I think it was around 1,500, $2,000, like one of the sides of the duplex.
Yeah, so he owned a duplex on both sides. He was bringing in $2,200 a month collectively,
like long term.
And from what just the discussion we've had, and you can drop the link to that interview on here, Adam Perigo, he was only making a few $100 on that property, right? So what ended up happening was he converted just one side to start of that property into a short-term rental. His very first month that he launched, he brought in over $4,400 in revenue just on one side. So literally more than double of what he used to make in a month with both sides.
Yeah.
So then he's like, well, this is pretty awesome. What do you think I should do?
You think so? Yeah.
So we're like, well, I mean,
do you like money?
No.
I mean, that's a pretty good case study. What do you think would happen if we did the other side? He's like, I don't know. Let's find out. By the end of the year, okay, so literally over a 6-month period, he brought in over $70,000 in 6 months on a property that he would have maybe brought in $24,000 annually on.
So it sounds like about a 3x on that particular property.
Well, that's only 3x in 6 months, Michael.
Yeah.
So I mean, really.
Oh, that was 6 months, not 12. That was 6 months.
Yeah.
That was 6 months. So he brought in $70,000 in a 6-month period on a property he would have brought in $24,000 annually, give or take, plus or minus a couple hundred.
So easily trending 6-7x on that property line.
Yeah. So I mean, again, that's just one example. We're not saying obviously that's the experience that's going to be the same for everyone, because again, there's a lot of different variables and factors that go into this stuff. But I mean, traditionally, from what we've seen is common, saying that you can get anywhere from 2 times the amount of rent coming in. So let's just say you're bringing in, $2,000 a month on a property, anywhere from 2 times. Sometimes we've seen as high as 5, 6, 7 times this much. Again, it really is going to depend on the property, but that's kind of the typical experience we've seen, not just for ourselves, but also for a lot of our students as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, even if it was 2x, I mean, you're doubling your monthly cash flow, even at a 2x position, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've seen properties myself and have them that are 8x, and I've seen higher than that. So, it goes to show you guys. And also you've got that property liquid. So you don't have a long-term tenant in there. If and when you ever decided life changed, you wanted to, divest out of that property, you've got the ability to do that without waiting for a long-term lease to expire. So guys, nothing wrong with long-term buy and holds. I've done a lot of them, still. I'm a lot more onto the STR space for those reasons. It's a math problem for me. If I can have one property, the same property, get a 5x return with a short term as opposed to that long term get rich slow mentality, I'm certainly going to take those up. So guys, this has just been tons of information here on the video, which is why we love bringing you guys here on the channel. You guys are just a wealth of knowledge, and obviously have your eyes and ears open and are ahead of the trends in the STR space. We know that people are clamoring to work with you. We know that we've had you here on the channel here for a couple of years. You guys undoubtedly, in your coaching sessions that you offer, you sell out every single group. I know that for a fact. So there is definitely some time sensitivity with this, but you guys are changing your model up a little bit. And we talked offline, and it's kind of exciting. You guys have done some experimenting, with your offering over the years here. And you guys at this point have really landed on a sweet spot that's really resonating with your coaching students, just based on some of the unique offerings that differentiate you guys from other folks that may be out there in the space from the educational aspect like you guys are. Can you talk about that? Talk about what that offer looks like, what separates you from other folks that are out there. And then particularly, let's dive into the partnership, because I know that that is something that folks really, really get excited about in working with you guys. If you don't mind kind of dissecting those.
Yeah, for sure. And just like you were saying before, we've tried having different offers out there because everyone is so different when they come into this space. It's a very unique situation. We've done literally anywhere from like one-on-one coaching all the way out to like an 8-week Kickstarter plan. And we've just found that the best result, our students are absolutely crushing it, that have had best training and the best results from our program is through a 4-month training program. It is our BNB Bootcamp Masterclass program, where we only take on 10 students, is a cohort, a very focused group going in there. These are the people that are getting the results, have the accountability, the most support. And so we just really honed in. It's like, this is where it is, and this is what we need to really offer. So we just focus in honestly to this one offer. This is coming into 4-month working with us, Michael and myself, in our masterclass program, having that support starting from scratch and growing and scaling your business.
So the entire purpose of this program is really catered to someone that's actually looking to come into the STR space, but not approach it, again, as we talked about in previous sessions here. We don't want to be an opportunity seeker, because as you're very correct in highlighting, there is competition coming, which in my opinion is a good thing, because it means there's obviously money to be made in the space. But you have to approach it from the lens of a strategic entrepreneur, okay? So within the BNB Bootcamp and our 4-month masterclass, the entire purpose of this training is to take someone that's literally starting from scratch, and by the time we're done the program, they should have either one or several properties up and running, bringing in additional income and cash flow into their household.
Yeah. And like bringing it back to quote unquote popular demand of what's the biggest thing, very unique, I guess, different about how we're operating. It's like, it's taking someone literally from scratch and building the business with them over the 4 months. So how to automate, have the systems, build up that team, have the infrastructure to actually grow and scale, but also growing and scale with partnerships. And we've talked about that before on the VIP channel and with you, Michael, before, but this is really, different and unique. It's how do we get into other people's properties and really just control that without having to pay damage deposit, without having to pay for furniture, without even signing a lease agreement. You're literally signing a piece of paper and you can start managing someone's property. This is how we grew during COVID. This is how we protected our downside, because you're essentially just splitting onto the revenue from there. And you're signing that piece of paper to make money month 1 and you're in the black.
So that, I'd say the most unique part about that structure is if you do it correctly, there's no out-of-pocket expense. There's no overhead you're taking on. And the very first month you're in business, you are profitable. You are not waiting on putting money out, waiting for money to come back, because that's how we started, right? So that was the first 5 units we did, was all rental arbitrage. Now, to be clear, we still use that strategy and it still is very effective. But the way we were able to grow and scale, I can tell you firsthand, if like someone held a gun to my head and said you had to pick one strategy and everything else was unavailable to you, partnerships.
All day long, partnerships.
Yeah.
So guys, just like any other business opportunity or starting any new endeavor, there's going to be a cost associated with that. Obviously, you're investing in yourself, you're investing in the model itself. This is something that once you learn, it's a skill that you will have literally for the rest of your life to be able to make money doing these types of transactions in this asset class in the STR space. What does that investment look like for you guys? And we're obviously pleased to hear that you guys are going to continue to offer a fast action discount to our audience, those members that take action right away as well. If you can kind of break some of those numbers down for our folks.
For sure. And I mean, our whole thing is we like to be transparent. We like to be upfront. So before anyone even connects us on a call, they're going to know right from the very beginning, like, what does that investment look like? Okay. So just for everyone's benefit here, I mean, our typical tuition to get into the BNB Bootcamp training for the 4-month masterclass is $12K. That's what we normally have it at, $11,997. But because with VIP, we do offer a fast action discount. Okay. So when we open up these classes, and we have not had these available for the last several months, we do only make 10 spots available. And every class, you're quite correct, Michael, we have sold out every single class. Okay. So what we're prepared to do now is we're opening up enrollment again for 10 additional spots to get into this exclusive training. So normally we have it for $11,997. For a fast action discount for the next 10 people that come through, we're bringing it down to $99.97.
And we certainly appreciate that. I know our audience will too. if they miss out now, we know that the classes fill up. Are you guys, and you guys said that you, or alluded to, that you may start booking 2 months in advance just due to the demand, so you're not having to, deliver bad news to folks when they're calling in about the current booking class. Are you guys implementing that now, where if they do miss that first 10, they're able to get registered for the next class?
100%, because I mean, we're fully cognizant and aware that, timing can definitely be a factor depending on like what might be going on behind the scenes in your personal life, work situation, family obligations. We get it, right? But for those folks that are looking to get into the class, they know this is what resonates with them. They know this is where they want to take things, but maybe the timing is not quite correct right now. We can accept a deposit just to hold your spot, because we can tell you from firsthand experience, the class will fill up, but if you don't want to lose out on your spot, that's the best way to do it.
Or the fast action discount. So you're ready to get going and you're like, okay, I'm 100% doing it, but it has to be in a month. That's when we have that conversation and just to have a conversation with us. It's us on the calls. We want to definitely talk to anyone's coming in, because we want to make sure it's the right fit and really aligns with what your goal, and because we're going to be working together for 4 months. So we want to make sure it's a good fit for everyone coming on board, and in that really highly focused masterclass with only 10 students.
And of course, the deposits are obviously fully refundable. I mean, we have no interest in just holding on to someone's deposit just to hold their spot, because I mean, ultimately, what we're really looking for is a commitment from people that are really serious. They want to get into this. They want to have a legitimate opportunity to start bringing in additional income and cash flow. But if it's just a question of timing, we can definitely have that conversation, find an arrangement that is most suitable for them.
Yeah, and we appreciate that. And we also understand that you guys have some financing options, and you guys will talk about all of this on a case-by-case basis. Guys, it's free to have the consultation. Michael and Katrina have talked to enough folks through our channel and some of their other outlets that they know what it's going to take. They're going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly on that call, and give you the right expectations going in. This is not a get rich quick. This is not a passive investment strategy. It is going to take work, but you're working with the best and you're following a specific blueprint to success. So guys, if you are interested, you want to have that consultation, again, that's going to be BNB Bootcamp at VIPfinancialeducation.com. First, last name, the best number for them to reach you. And you heard right earlier, guys, it is actually Michael and Katrina, the founders of the company, that are overseeing the boot camp and the coaching. So you're getting one-on-ones with the best of the best. If you have more interest, go ahead and reach out via that email. Guys, as always, do your own research. We're going to keep bringing Michael and Katrina back here on the channel as long as our folks are continuing to get the results just like they are. So until the next video, take care and make it a great day.